Yeah, first time that it was on just going back. It's like, right. That's like that one. Like another milestone. 13 is the golden birthday too. So. Yeah, so we'll see, but it's really fun. I love like I like the university experience. See, I can get to a lot of like water taxi, which is so awesome. Which is very convenient. I feel like all the Disney stuff is like travel everywhere. It's more spread out. It's so much bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, oh my God, it was amazing. Like, my brain, like, it wanted to explode. Like, you for me, right? Like, you have the world for a while. Cool job. Like, you have these little, like, entryways, like, walls with it. And you really feel like you're like being transported to a different place, you know, like, yeah, it was really, you could definitely go, it was a really awesome,
Yeah.
that park was really cool. Today, I'm tired, working home, so that was great, and that's what I needed. More weather and cocktails and, you know. all that stuff.
Dr. Oh, no, you got to talk to, Dr. Montes.
Yeah.
He wants us to come next week.
No,
She's
when
next week. I saw it like in person. I was like, yeah, take a look at the agenda.
Oh, really?
Oh, good. Really?
Okay, I'll text you.
No, never mind. She says it's,
Well, you guys didn't have class last week, right?
she just posted it today.
She can.
And it came online because she wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, okay.
We had, no, she said she just posted it today, because I saw that we had.
So she had texted me last week and she was like, I'm moving my class online or not having class or something. I was like, oh, perfect, because I'm not even there today. So, yeah,
Yeah, it was her, but she wasn't feeling.
yeah.
But,
Oh,
Yeah.
she has vertigo, yeah.
Yeah. So, shit, that's why.
Um,
But yes, very happy.
That's good,
I
yeah.
was like, you know, you didn't say, it's just a.
Yeah, I mean, I'll text her and tell her I'm not. Yeah, I mean, next semester I'll have to like coordinate with her. 'Cause usually Dr. Wells teaches the class.
Yeah.
And, so she and I had always coordinated with the same
Yeah.
schedule. Then I didn't know teaching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I said that on the agenda today.
So, okay, so you need to post. Yeah. Hi. Here's Sandy. I'm just gonna grab some water. Maria's not coming.
Right.
Wonderful, not coming in.
That's not coming.
She has a birthday.
She has a birthday.
Yeah, it's her boyfriend's birthday.
He's turning 10. Right, I'll be right back. We'll see who else comes in the next day. But yeah, get some yeah, there's tons of Halloween candy.
Yeah, I did. These days, you know, Maria, Maria.
Actually,
Just when it comes, then I'm like, oh. I don't know what one is. It's the wind.
I'm like, get this out of my house. I've been eating so much candy, my pants are too tight. Okay, so no Vanessa.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's like, that means you're upstairs. Huh? Wait, so having it at 8, right?
we need to register for the gallery.
December 1st.
Yeah, because I got the gallery walk.
What?
Want to do a gallery walk.
Right, you want to gallery walk, you want to pick out little.
That's what he was gonna teach, so that's what we were gonna do with something.
That's what I got no pump.
There's something all the way to the bottom.
I know this time of the semester, it's wild. Wild up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He posted it,
I don't even know about Gavin.
Oh, people, I'm not in.
portfolio gallery organization.
She's working, so maybe someday she can perhaps in a little bit later.
No.
Alright. Well,
People are sick.
I know. Usually people email, I mean, Maria email. And that's something didn't want to email me, probably. Now I know. Okay, we all need a break, I get it. I said nothing, I just used my intuition. You have class after this though, today.
Yeah,
Not in person. So it's familiar. Then, you know, it's like,
Oh, and they changed your thing. They changed to Tuesday.
yeah. So
I
that's
just saw that.
good for
At what time?
at 4:15. If they get some crazy room and I'm moving it.
Yeah.
Got a new schedule today for my job. I told them it was 10 anyways,
Okay.
but they are so.
Yeah.
I put a leave of absence. I went on it yesterday, or well, technically I put the paperwork. Today was my first day of leave. They called me, they said, we're willing to do whatever you want.
Oh, wow. They're like, please come and help us.
You know what you're doing at it. They're like, yeah, I get feedback every week, you know, and so. And then look at this, and I'm like, are we ready to be like bye-bye for 1 year? And then they call.
You work a little, right? Like,
Yeah, 3 days a week.
if they're asking you and be like, this is what I want.
Children, you should have your minutes waived. I don't work with. No, you do, you deal with adults.
Adults are so, adults, I think they're like a bunch of freaking babies. You know, it's like,
That's what it
yeah.
Yeah, they're right about that.
All right, well, we are here and we're almost done. It is the home stretch. So hang in there, hang in there. All right, so we're gonna talk about integrated content. You good? I'm sorry, no, it's okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about integrated content. So essentially taking all the content in this class and thinking about how we teach together. And we'll do some project approach stuff. Here's your learning objective. Okay, questions about station rotation? That's coming up. I feel like I am.
What?
That is a week in 1 week problem.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, just when your brain turns into that mode, let me know if you have pretty much. So it'll be fine. Okay, so what does integrated learning look like? What does that mean to you? Multimodal.
You can offer for content.
Hands on.
Yeah.
And be thematic as well.
It could be thematic, right? So, right, we've all done the unit plans. We'll talk about we've talked about project approach a little bit, but we'll like to practice a little bit with project approach. And so these ideas are all ways to implement integrated learning in early childhood in a way that is play-based and child-centered and fun and hands-on and multimodal, so all the things that we said. And so here's all the content areas that we talked about in this class. And so just keep those in mind today as we're thinking about some of the activities that we do. Well, we need to talk about some more than others, obviously. It's not something so important and foundational for other areas, so. We can on. Okay, so we're going to. Or someone else going to be inspired. All right. Thank you, Abigail. All right, so. Read the book Home by Carson Ellis. Alyssa. Home is the house in the country. Or home is an apartment. Some homes belong. Some are palaces or underground layers. Choose. Bullet. Homes. And make their homes. And some folks. Clean homes, messy homes, tall homes, short homes. But whose home is this? About. In the world is here and why? This is the home of a Slovakian Dutch. This is the home of Blacksmith. This is the home of a Japanese businessman. This is the home of a North Star. A babushka lives here. A Munian lives here. Artist. This is my home. And this is me. Where is your home? Where are you? The end. All right, so how might math, science, and social studies would be through this book for you?
Just for me, I think there's just right the types of homes, tall. Yeah.
Yeah, so homes across.
About science. Science living on the moon.
So there's some like kind of fantastical places to.
I would also say some architecture. Yeah, that's what I mean.
So like some maybe. Yeah, engineering. Yes, or question.
Even the types of houses, right? Like, you know, you live in a house or it's an apartment. It's big.
Yeah, so. So here's, I put this together, so we're gonna do. Using books is also a good place to start with thinking about integration. the integrating curriculum, right? And use books that start building your libraries for your classrooms, but you'll be thinking about both book quality and is it a good book, but also what you would use it for. Right? So again, intentionality, things that we're doing, the choices we make and what we put in our mind. And so, so think about books. Start off integrating high skyline curriculum together, right? And so I just put this together, right? Something similar today. Here are some standards that I felt like might be aligned with some ideas here and some activities that are an objective center idea that students should do. Right, so this is first grade, and the center would be right building a home, and students would build homes for various environments that they saw. Book, fairy tale environments, they could be moon environments, they could be and so here's the standards that I chose. Which are some of the things that we people in different types of communities live and use what they use. They're comparing. So you were saying we talked about like engineer thinking about NGSS and standard, and then a life science. So one book, 3 standards, an integrated activity center. So using whatever, we'll do a related activity to pull it out of. So now what I want you all to do is think about, I don't know, however many groups you want to do today. There's not many of us. We're dropping like flies. Yeah, you can put it together. That's there too. That's fun. And so create an integrated thematic unit for any grade, K to 2. So think K to 2, not preschool. Practice more with K to 2. And think about, so, try to recall back, we talked about equity-centered social studies. And then there's a template that you can use if you want to make a copy of that and just take notes. Nothing formal, it's just to help you take some notes. Let me just pull it up. And so you'll do, essentially what I just showed you. Right, so you can use a book if you want. I would probably start there. And to go for your grade, you'll have your standards. Here I have for math, or science, and science, or math, or science, and write an integrated objective. So that's also a goal that we want to be thinking about when we're really doing integrated things. We can have separate objectives that are related to each standard, but next level, we want to make sure that we are integrating that learning and through an objective that's measured. One objective that we can measure is going to help us look at all of those. Okay. Harder, right? Integrated well. So we can practice with that. And then you can just talk about your activity. So this is just something. Not more. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Left our card.
Thank you. Take care. Good to know. Yeah, she's a tough.
Oh, yeah, that's science. I remember the first one in the class.
Yes, or something, spoken line, yes, yeah, oh, I said con. Work. Yes. All right. Mine either. It's like,
Where's that?
you know, it's like I somehow feel like refreshed from my like vacation, but then I'm also like. It's linked, the template is linked in the slides. So you can, it's just right here, you can copy this template. So you can click that and then make a copy. And then, yeah, I'll let you guys just, you all can work together, that's fine too. I know we're all a little on the struggle bus, so, you know, we're all just here struggling along together.
We're here.
We're gonna get through it, I promise you.
We use you as our counselor too, sorry.
No, I'm happy to be here
Always like,
as an advisor, as someone to just listen.
how was the trip?
It was great. It was exhausting. It was magical. It's all the things you think you go to like, you know, those places. Although I was like, Florida.
Oh, was it?
No, it was the weather was.
This is to go.
It was like 75 degrees every day. It was like,
What is it?
not there, because like it was sunny every day, like full sun.
Nice.
It was perfect. You know, we had
Like, or just. At
Universal.
I know. Oh, like outside. Oh, no, you didn't go.
No, I mean, we mostly ate, I ate like the worst Mexican food of my life. Like this margarita. Some city walk. And it was like a margarita, but it had like a paleta in it, which I thought was like, oh, this is like kitschy and cute, but I'm also like, I want like booze. I don't want popsicle. And I'm like, what is it? Get this out of here. So I'm like crushing it up there. I'm like, is there booze in this paleta, or is it just like for kids? Like, I was like, I'm not. It was the day we got there too. So you're like traveling all day and you're like, I just want to drink, you know? And you're like, what is this?
Don't drink on the plane.
I did drink on the plane. And yeah, well, 'cause my mom came with too, and she's like, she's retired. She's like on a forever vacation. And every time we go on a plane, we're drinking mimosas and wine, and like we call her Chardonnay Grammy because she got real. Yeah. And so now my son called her Chardonnay.
No.
The best birthday trip ever. How many times? Like it's a good time.
You see that?
No. He's like, I know someday I know. I'm like, maybe when I get older, I'll be like the Pinot Noir, the rosé gram. I don't know. But yeah, it was very fun. It was great. Like, no.
So there was a lot of stuff happening on the plane. Around there, no. What things are gonna be found? Because I was like, oh God.
I was like really, yeah. But there were really no coming home. New York, all the flights to New York were like and there was like our flight, LaGuardia flight, and then people came on and they're like, yeah, like they're, I guess they were having like there plus like, so they were like really windy, and because of the like air traffic control issues, there was one rough in New York, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, what a freaking night. So glad I'm not flying. Yeah, so they were definitely impacted, but yeah, like getting through security is super easy, like not long line. So.
And you flew into Orlando, right?
Mhm. Yeah. So.
No, you have to have it some. Well, it's not spring break, it's not.
Yeah, so it was,
Thanksgiving,
yeah, so
it's
like
the
next, I mean, right, I mean, that should all be resolved now, right? Because government is reopened, but it's not. Quite. Even that. Big. We won't have that. So at least hopefully by, by next week, Thanksgiving probably. It'll be. Sorry. Yeah, so going like, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. The parks are pretty empty too, like it wasn't very. So. All right, okay, let's do this.
All right, so. That's good and that. All covered. First grade, right? What do you want to go with? First grade. You like first? First grade is involved, right? You can incorporate the. I was looking for a book. First grade books, that's it, right? I was looking at saying. Yeah, I'll share with you, I'll share with you. You got it? Yeah. Yeah, 100. What topic are we taking? Whether. There's always. We want to do science.
Don't forget to look at your standards.
Yeah, like what we want them to find. But I don't know. What they do. Like the standards. Now it's a little. Are we doing science and?
The standards are in this slide, I think, too.
Yeah. Like the standards are, yeah. Explain how all people learn. Like that. Thirteen. Yeah, but we know. This one is way. This one has question. How about let's let, well, one person for the look for the finding for now. I'm on that. I'm voting for what then I'll have to agree with time. With him. Or we didn't come in up, thinking, looking at them, looking at them, I'll see what we want them to. So we're gonna go through. Yeah, it's a great one. It's two, or it's like two, yeah, right, it's two. So we go math and, That science and social studies. Okay. But the thing is, we wanna find a. What if it's rather to be a voter? No, but I think that's how she says this.
I would start with the book. Just like a good way to.
Are we doing, what I know from school. Okay. The Pittsburgh. the case of IBD. It is stricter. Yep. Wait, what was it called? Policy in rule favor district. It's a skyline book. See, skyline is not structured for me. Okay, I feel like the way they outline it, it's not. I call it Skynet.
Skynet.
Not appropriate for all. Everybody loves it. But, so. This one, it's this one.
In what ways do you think it's not like,
Like, I just think it's, so I feel like all children are on the same level. I feel like the way they structure it, sometimes it can seem a little more complicated for certain students. So like, well, of course, we don't have it for preschool, but, for like kindergarten, it starts off, of course, they should like know their letters, but it goes to, sight words, then like right away, but some kindergartens don't know how to respond. And when it comes to like small groups, they don't do small groups on um, like the content, I want to say, they kind of like, surrounded based on whatever the lesson is. I only look at it for kindergarten. I think creative is a little bit like that too. They just go based off like whatever the unity is. So like they just did the trees. It was just more so about like trees and all of that, but it didn't have any integration with like actual content. I feel like it's different for every student.
right, so I think, so the thing, right, with any you're gonna use, right? It's all gonna be aligned with state standards. So that's like, if there's any beef is there, right? Because that's what you have to teach to, right? It's to the standard. It's being required of students by the state to meet. I think where Skyline is, maybe you're having issues, right? It's like the way in which they're just like putting out a lesson plan. But I think it's up to you as the teacher, right? So like do the differentiation. I mean, there's differentiation notes. You get lesson plan. But right, like it's
There's a lot, like,
yeah, there's like
Yeah.
it's like overwhelmingly complicated
Yeah.
because whatever.
like the whole unit plan is way, 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 way big.
Right.
And then you go into many lessons and you still have a lot in there.
Mm.
To me, the books are very heavy when it comes to topics. It's always like twisted into either racial or equality or inequality. I feel like there's no books that just are happy books.
Right.
And I know it's not always the case, and I know
Right.
we need to bring in heavy topics.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is a lot of them are long and complicated.
Yeah.
Like the author's note is going to be 3 pages long. Not listening to this. They stop listening after 3 sentences.
Right, but you don't have to like, I mean, you're not required to teach some of those books necessarily. Like you can use other books. I mean, just because the lesson is telling you to use that book to teach about.
I'm sure it depends on
Content
the
area.
admin, how well they.
Right.
For a lot of schools, Skyline is something new right now. Like,
But I think a lot of schools hate it too, and
Right.
they're rethinking their curriculum models because
Right.
they're trying to do better. Students, which makes sense, right? Yeah, so,
and it came with all the books, the curriculum came with all the books, so
Yeah.
all the closets are stuffed with those books.
right,
So if you have a teacher that is gonna go outside of the box and request other books, that's,
Right. Well, that's why, right, it's like, it's so much of that like falls on our lap as
Yeah.
educators, like we have to be the ones to get those books and choose different books and ask our parents to donate those books, right? Um, which many, there will be parents who support your classroom, like help build your library and they'll have books for every student. Um, But yeah, we have differentiation, right? Identify to be able to assess and identify which students need help still like letter identification, right? Or doing stuff and building funnels. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to follow as it is, right? You have to teach those standards. And so it's like, because that's like when they take the whatever tests, right? Like state test twice a year.
I read yours.
Yeah, like those are all gonna be based on like those standards for that grade. So as long as they can do that stuff, it doesn't really matter how you get them. I mean, unless your principal is like. You have to follow the curriculum that, right? But like, no principal's coming and checking them. Unless they're like insane. They don't have time to like police every teacher, like look at they might check to make sure the grades in.
But like, from what we're teaching from those books, I would say would be a lot of work to find an alternative. That would cover, like, the book we were reading now. It's called, Fried Bread, and no, that's not the one. There's
What
another
grade is it?
first. There was another one where the problem is they're heading over to a family reunion. Someone's gonna do something or give a gift. The boy is worried because he doesn't have anything. And then he prepares a beautiful speech, which is like, let's stop here. No, they're going south to the family. So there's Jim Crow, there's cotton fields, all that history in that book for first grader. And then the questions for it's like, what was the problem?
Okay.
It was difficult for me to kind of sit long enough and try to stick to like, what's the problem? I felt like we were going back and forth, and I love the history in that book, and it just, I don't know if that's a good way to.
And that is a book that you're reading for like ELA or for, right, like what content?
Just reading, just reading, a reading lesson.
Right, so it's the ELA.
Yeah.
Right, but like, think about the way that you could integrate that book with social studies.
No, for sure.
So I think it's like, right, thinking about the.
I love it for
areas.
social studies. I
Yeah.
don't know if I love it for a reading lesson, because if I give them, it comes with a worksheet.
Right.
Where you have to say, what was the problem? What was the solution? And to me, as an adult, of course, I'm helping out with different students, so I'm not always like 100% there.
Right.
But at some point, they're like, oh, Miss B, can you help me? Like, what was the problem? Don't know. I've read like 10 different problems in that book.
Right, right. Right, and I think it is a little bit like meant to be open-ended too, right? Because you want them to be able to try to find and identify multiple problems. So I think in that sense, right? Just playing devil's advocate, right? Like in that sense, it's like the curriculum is trying to be more flexible for all students. Like there's not one particular right answer here. There's many things that you focus on. The problem though is that the teacher in their mind, they have the right answer, which I've found just in my son's work sometimes, right? It's like they graded this wrong, but it's not actually wrong. You think that it's wrong, right? Like the answer itself is actually
right. The kids that think outside of the box.
right. And so I think it's like it falls on the teacher again to be like more flexible in their thinking, and sometimes you're not, especially like your first year is never going to be like, oh, I'm like, yeah, this is so great, everyone do whatever the hell you want, like we're going to integrate everything, we're going to like, you're going to be like, I don't even know what's happening right now, like what am I supposed to do with these kids, like what do they need to learn, right?
Like how we're gonna be.
There's no way.
Freaking out.
You're not gonna be the greatest teacher in the universe your first year or your second year. It like, maybe not in your third year, right? But it's like, by the time you get to that point, you will know what you're doing. Know the content that you're supposed to teach, standards that you need to get them to, and you will then slowly change the way you teach your class, right? And the way you see their work. It's just, like, it's not gonna happen. No. Be like, probably be like, what the hell, why am I?
No one killed each other.
Right, they're like, all the kids are in one piece, they seem happy, and they learned something. What they learned, I don't know, but I think I taught them something. So, yeah, you can't go in first year being like, I'm gonna do all this stuff. Product approach. Right, this is like, that's why I'm like always like emphasizing the standards so much, because I think it's like, you need to know the standards so well in order to be able to like think outside of the box of what this means or how to integrate it with other content areas, how you can like teach it in different kinds of ways. Because like, you don't know that. That's the constant across your teaching, right? Standards will always be there. Of course, they change that. They might, right? But that's what you're going to be teaching to. Those standards are what.
But then as a homeroom teacher, that is basically teaching everything. Do we hit all the standards that are available for the grade? Like, is that the expectation?
I mean, yes, right? I mean, the expectation is that those standards are meant to be taught in every grade, but over the whole year, right? If we're not gonna be. And some students will never meet some of those things. Some students, right, they'll have to wait until the next time, right? They'll keep working on those skills. You'll keep trying to work with them. And so many of the standards, like especially math, there's like a million standards that are exactly the same. Right, so like you'll know which standards, like, these are all the same thing. This one thing are all the same. So next generation science standards, I think, are actually probably easier because they're just like very straightforward. There's like what standards per grade or something. And so
But what if
how you teach that is social studies is even harder, I say, standard wise than science. Which you'll see when you get in the classroom, you will emphasize social studies math more than science. You might barely teach science. You like asked to barely teach science. And
I was good at, or like just halfway decent. Now I'm like, oh God, I don't know anything about it. I'm like trying to match my thoughts and a science standard. I'm like, if I'm wrong. So definitely something eye opener.
Yeah.
Something that to work on,
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think the standards are going to be your constant, so focus on that, right? For your first few years, then you will think about like one thing and change that. Until you feel like you're teaching in the way you want to teach, right? The way that's like more creative and more child-centered and more play-based and less like we're reading this book and they're doing this book. Like, exactly what we're doing in the first year. I cannot think of another way to do this right now. So, you know, I take like 3 years to get one anyway. Minimum. Yeah, CPS is. Oh, do you know that? I don't know.
What you're doing?
Is that the basic?
I would say no when you get like you're essentially like a tenured teacher.
So what, yeah, I mean, your position is.
Tenured is way more.
It's. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like more like
Germany, like, they don't, like,
Like basically,
Qualified with the new teacher?
right, so
Yeah,
like,
I think it's 3 years because even on the March sheet for my placement, they had to be a teacher for more than 3 years.
yeah, so I think it's like, then you get, then you're essentially like in it. It's more difficult for you to get fired and, yeah, your evaluations will probably are gonna change, right? So,
My teacher, my CT teacher, she had her patient today. She's been there for 9 years, or she's like been teaching 29.
yeah,
I think they're 9. And I was just like, oh, they're still. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because I mean, even after like, you, like even here, right? Once you get tenure, you still have to get like observed at some point, not like every year, like how I have to now, right? So, yeah, you'll still have, there's still accountability,
Right.
right? Like what your classroom looks like.
No one is reading those surveys that we take.
I'm reading those surveys that you take.
Look at you. Anyone other?
Yeah, that's why you have to go, you gotta, so I tell every class. You write a letter to the chair of the department.
Oh, the chair doesn't care.
And, okay, but collectively, one student's voice is not as powerful as 10, right? And when you have everyone,
But if you have to take 3 or 2 classes with the same professor, you don't want to do that.
I hear this every year. Every single year, it's the same conversation on the wall.
Yeah, we had it last.
Yes, right. So,
There's one teacher here, I just don't. How it's good.
It's just that I think all our professors are really, they're really smart. Some people. They're really. It's just, they don't know.
she's like, oh, you're a sweet lady. You're a sweet lady, Denise.
Just don't know. Are like into teaching anymore, or like they're, do you know what I mean? They're just kind of set in the 1980s when they started teaching versus like, kind of like being a
I
little
hear
bit
you.
more.
This is like the 500th time I've heard this.
I
I know exactly what you're talking about without even needing to say their name. I know, because I've heard this,
Yeah.
right? Because it's constant. It's like, it's a thing that every student has an issue with. And every class I say, do your evaluations. And honestly, even if you think no one's gonna read them, because maybe that's the year, someone's gonna like look at it.
Yeah.
But
But do you guys like not sit like on a round table and like say?
and like go through our evaluations together.
I don't know, or like talk about the.
I read all my evaluations.
How dare she say this about me? And then the teacher's lounge where you talk.
No.
You have a group chat?
No, are you kidding me? You know who my group chat is? Mindy, Schreier, and Deb.
I
My
like
group
that.
chat. That's my.
Yeah. I would think. Like,
No, I mean, like, we barely meet it. Like, we don't, yeah.
well, too, like you guys are always teaching us that we need to like collaborate with like.
Right. And I have my own list of issues that Dr. Duggan is. But continue to complain about them until there's accountability, right? Like, I'm here for a long time still, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think, right, you do your course evaluation. Honestly, as feel comfortable, they are totally anonymous. I think I've like showed you what they look like. It's like, cannot see, unless you put something in there that's like identifies. No one will know it's you. Yeah, you know, I just like, I've been telling sport classes, like, go collectively, write a letter, everyone signs it. Right? I don't know, maybe nothing will happen, right? But
They say, I don't want to get involved. I kid you not, that is the exact.
then you go to the dean. Then you move it up the, you know,
I just feel
then
like
you go to the union president. Oh, no, right? I mean, I think there's a lot of leadership here that like you could complain to about some of those things.
You could just let that picture. Let it go. You could write it.
Well,
I can see
I
that.
can put your things down that phone. Yeah. Ah, I see.
Oh, it's like you just have to do it.
But we've had it for 3 semesters.
But we don't next semester. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's been 3 semesters.
We just gotta dug out this,
That's right, you gotta thug it out, and you gotta think of it as a lesson in, you know, in hardships.
The
And
problem is it has nothing to do with how we're gonna end up as teachers.
it'll be a lesson in what not to do. Right? Although I do worry about what you're learning, how it's preparing you.
Yeah.
Those are some of the.
Every class.
I also do that, which I love, and I wish I could. I'm like teaching 4 classes next semester because I didn't want to give up the class that
Oh, yay, thank you so
I
much.
was.
Thank you
So
so
I was
much.
like, I'm just gonna, as long as we can move it, I'm gonna teach.
Yeah.
So,
So you're also like, you help those visual. Because I think I'm visual and hands-on as well. And I remember though, whatever we do, when we do it hands-on and visually,
yeah,
like I could see it, and I'm like trying to figure things out. Versus like just seeing words, so.
Right. That's our next professor doing, so she kind of like working with little phone activities, but
oh, good.
who does?
Oh,
Muffins.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool. I mean, she'll listen.
I'm a little tired of the same type of assignment
Every week.
We only have one assignment every.
Yeah.
week.
Like the
So it's material portfolio.
At least
I have to write 8 of them.
And it's like you're doing the same assignment, just a different topic every week. so
Yeah.
it's like-
Well, that's good feedback for your, you know, for the course evals.
Yeah.
And 8 of them are only gonna do.
Well, because you know, for this, she hasn't taught this class in a while. And someone
Yeah.
else taught this class.
Right.
before. So she's probably just like going off an old,
Right.
whatever, so she needs feedback.
Every semester.
Another 4. Writing another 4 is like, oh my god.
You know, every semester I read all of my. Like, that's why, like, it's nice to have actual, like, feedback, right? Like, no, not everyone. Then I'm like, okay, like, there's 2 assignments or something, right? And I'm like, right, yeah, maybe there probably is, right? So, but I could change it, right? Like, so 303, the child development class.
Yeah.
Like, I changed that class so much because of the feedback I've gotten over on like, just like the workload and things are due and how to do it, so I changed all that. Not based on feedback. Killing me.
I have to say, I do use it to get some ideas.
I think it's a great way to get ideas. Like, I'll use it to get ideas for like activities that we'll do in class, right? So that I can like make it more interactive, or like, I want to teach about this thing, like, give me some ideas for how to do that. I think that's a great thing.
Yeah.
First.
Pinterest, I like Pinterest too. Pinterest. And I wanna, like, having someone, you know, like. Design it.
Yeah. You like, you don't need to like reinvent the wheel, like, people have been doing this, like, creating lessons for a long time, you know, and like, have cool ideas for how to teach content.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to change it enough, right? We're gonna have to change it for our students, we know our students, we'll have to change it for like how they learn and differentiate in those different ways, so. Are we doing this activity or?
Yeah.
Should we just be like, nah, we'll move on from this activity?
Are we
Want to do that next? Okay, let's talk about what we got so far.
Like, how,
No, we don't have,
yeah, I understand the great, so it's like,
Right.
wait, are you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's, well, yeah, what do you guys have so far?
Engineering design. So,
From him.
no, I found the.
Overachiever.
No, I'm just saying
What standard?
the math standard, I went with one deep is reason with citizen and activity. Here in design, here's a two standard, develop a simple sketch or an official model to reflect how the state of the object or the function as needed to solve a given problem. I think it's very social studies, so, but I thought it was not box. But it talks about, how you can make boxes different things. And then for an activity, I did have where we do the box study and then all the kids like create different things out of a box. But. So,
right, on the-
That's, like, you could like, it could build like a house or something, right? And you could integrate some, I'm sure there's some social studies, or like, you can use the inquiry, so the social studies. Standards also have like a set of inquiry standards, so also, right, so those two, so similar to like the engineer. Like.
Yeah. Ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before we go on, like,
Yeah.
so when we have like first grade, first grade, but then you don't find that standard, we might find it in. We don't want to go back. All we want to stay. Great.
Yes, if there's like anything I teach you, like just that is the thing I want you to learn. Is like stick with the standard because that is gonna be the most applicable thing when you get into a classroom. Every curriculum you teach is gonna be based on those standards like we we're
Right.
just talking about.
But that's where they should be. What we should be.
Yes,
teaching them.
and we're never gonna bring we're gonna have 30 students.
Yeah.
Right? And we're never gonna, even though we know that student is still here.
Yeah.
In kindergarten.
Okay.
You still have not met that.
Yeah.
That student has to come along with us,
Okay.
so we have to figure out how to.
That,
So we need to have that in mind, that like, okay, maybe they didn't get this number sense strong, whatever, right? And so now we need to figure out how to teach that
Right.
to that student, right? While we're teaching these other, all the same, like while that student is still learning this and all of our other students are moving along.
Yeah.
Right, so that's why it uses like station rotation, right, using like differentiated groups.
Yes.
Gonna be helpful for students. So once you've identified all those students and you know kind of where they are.
Right.
And you'll have other assessments that you'll explore, you'll have star. Like, there's, you know, like star 360, right? Like you're gonna have other like standardized assessments that you'll do that will help you see where students are. And so some who are gonna be like really high overperforming for their grade, they're gonna be above grade level, like you'll flag those students, you know, like,
problem with that test actually,
I know, they're all kind of crappy.
because there's some kids that are just gonna rush through it and guess, and if they're lucky and they guess well, then they're somewhere where they're not need to be.
Yeah.
I almost feel like there should be an answer, I don't know.
But then our kids will be.
That's pretty.
But I don't have to pick.
I do agree, right? Like you don't want, you're not gonna just base your groupings based on like that.
I mean, you get to know the kids quite well, very quickly.
Right, and so you'll know where they're at and you'll have done some like basic kind of assessing of your own. And then you'll have that early on in the year to see where everything, so you'll have to like make a judgment call based on those scores plus what you already know. That's, yeah, I mean, that's why like informal assessment is really important too. So that you can really see where they are, like, you know, so you might want to be thinking, so if you're teaching first grade, you might want to be teaching about or thinking about food, so that you can be like, right, you need to know, like in your mind, you're like, they should be able to do these things, right? And these things. Like, So you just know, and then you're just kind of like informally, you're not gonna have a formalized way to assess that, because that's kindergarten, it's not your job. So you're gonna just be thinking about. Like have little notes, right? That's like, here's all the concepts that they should know by now.
Well, technically, we should be familiarized with the standards of the grade lower than what we're.
And the grade ahead of it.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, always know the grade, especially the next grade. Because you're like preparing them, you're setting the foundation for that. So you wanna know where they should be. Yeah. So. Start reading those standards on the toilet reading, get them in your
I could
mind.
print them on the shampoo bottle.
There you go. So, see, you guys can create some new, some new teacher merch. Like while you're in the shower, here's your study of next generation science standards, K-2, K-3. Right?
We have a K4 for the, is a K4, and she has 2 3. And so, she'll read a book. And then, she'll have 2 copies of that. She'll read it to her larger book kids, right? Then she will be with the TA in the back.
Right.
Because those 2 or 3, okay, they roam, they walk, she said, let it be, because they're not even.
Yeah.
So it's very, like.
Yeah, and you can see as much harder because you have like the age ranges plus development just looks so different then. So right, it's like, once they're like in school, it becomes very formalized. There's that they all start getting used to, but. Right, okay, let's move on. Good job. You did it, girl. You did it, you did it. You did it for the whole team here.
Yeah.
Teamwork. All right, so, right, the idea there is that we can use books to build integrated, to give us inspiration, build integrated centers or activities or whatever. Okay. The project approach we know about from really one. We talked about that. And so now we're gonna draw. See, let's just do it on the board. Because we're, just with our small group stuff. Our whole group, small group. But no more, if it's in here, but I do. So. Come on up. And. Work together, draw your neighborhood. The hot, cold, hot, cold. You. Standards. Stupid standards. I just want to teach these kids to play and have fun. Oh, come on. That's right. So let me go get. Actually, I have like tons in my office, so.
It's 3.
That's
That's
right.
right. Yeah, that's why Maria had mentioned it. The last project is, we can have up to 3, so we'll see. Oh. No. No. I'll just.
Do you want that? No. So many more. No, you still- I thought about it. Now I just feel like my teeth are. I eat them.
Someone put, come on, someone has to put Target on it. No? Someone has got to put Target on it. I was, what I was going, so you guys put Target, because we got pizza, but that helps. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna put my house right there by the grocery store. Nice. Okay.
No, this is like a capitalist neighborhood. Like, we're just trying to make that money.
Maybe they just put hospital like look, Starbucks. Walmart. This, you know what, you say, I'm gonna write my little house over there, I'm gonna draw my house over there, we gotta have a neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, a little park, okay, like that.
And then.
Apartment building. Oh, you're just. A park, we got a school, we got a bank, we got. A grocery, we got some little houses.
And a lady.
Oh, we got the little lady who going in her shopping cart. Old items. Black. This is a new way to. Look at the bar. This one flag. It's a metal one, it's real hot. It's an old school. Oh, yeah, one of those like small ones, like.
Oh, yeah.
the little,
On the one we have on 6 corners.
The one that-
Oh, I know, yeah. Ooh,
They got us all excited with the Target and you're nothing.
I know. We made that one. I do go there and buy one. Oh, it's Abigail. We got all these places for one lone house. Oh, apartment building, okay, 2 houses. This is a town of 20 people, being generous.
It's Wilmette.
But we have passed all the things. Those kids are gonna be taught so well. Those class sizes are ridiculous. Those class sizes are gonna be tiny. Teeny tiny class sizes. Okay.
Another building.
Because you know, you don't have to go anywhere. You can take your bike or your.
Here, we'll do the bike lane.
There you go, okay, fine, yeah. Tiny houses. The bike lane, I like that.
Bike lane.
We're all like to.
Trees in our.
No oxygen. We live on the moon. All right, we got our little house, our little community up there, come together. Got some trees. Got one person, got the family club. Gonna get all the deals.
No kidding.
COVID.
This is the Twilight Zone episode. Are you walking up and you're the only person left?
Everyone's hiding in COVID.
Yeah, or it's COVID time. Do you remember that? Yeah, oh my God. Can you even live? Can you believe what we've lived through? It's like crazy. Go farm.
It's like an accident, no.
Oh, yeah,
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 it's like
that,
something like that, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Like that.
There you go. Perfect. And the two huge doors, right?
Oh, so the farm to table.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
This is the table, or this is the park?
That's a barn.
Nice.
This thing.
Well, farm to table, right? Okay. Okay.
A nice neighborhood.
All right, well, wait, hold on, I'm going to stay up here.
Okay.
Since we're reshaping the way we're. All right, so we created our neighborhood. When we think about content. What can we pull from here? Like, what makes a neighborhood? Building.
Say the people, but.
Building.
I wonder 100%.
People. Like the workers, we're gonna like. Building. People. I'm trying. So it's like. Say comments. Businesses, entertainment, yeah. Maybe that part is so small. Have-
But yeah, traffic going downtown. Traffic. Disconnected.
It's not there, but maybe services.
You know,
Like I said, it's not there. but no
Fire
problem.
and chair.
You won't
Okay.
What is that one for
Oh, yeah.
Medicine, right?
Yeah. Well, my.
It's a Walgreens hospital. Yeah, you can, there's like different levels. You have, your hospital here and your shopping is down there. All right. So when we think about product approach, we would use all these recyclable materials and we would create this neighborhood in a three-dimensional form. But then, but right, this is, you were talking about boxes and right. So this is a great way to like have your families donate their recyclables, have a little staff of in your classrooms that you can use them to. So, right. So how did you all start when you started building? Everyone just free for all. Pretty much. Okay. Right, so one way to think about how we might do this differently, right, is thinking about social studies, like democracy and voting and how are we gonna, like, who's gonna take, is there gonna be a leader? Are we gonna split it up? Someone gonna talk about these things, right? So again, just always thinking about how you integrate content in any kind of activity that you're doing, right? So our project here is about neighborhood, right? Home. So maybe this is one piece of the neighborhood unit, right? Here we're building a neighborhood, so you can do it in 2D way, or you can use materials like recyclables to build a neighborhood, doing like models, right? So that's all using engineering skills and right inquiry skills, all the things that we want to be using. We thought about all the things that we need, and we linked it right to some here, houses, people, transportation, communities, businesses, services, education, entertainment. Any other ideas? One part, we are like a very green town. We're just,
Oh, yeah. Fire department.
yeah, no services. So services, right, would be like the fire, police. You know why? It's because we got our property tax bills yesterday. That's how we did it. We did get our property tax. All right, so love meets yeah. So,
Watch a couple episodes.
oh, you guys have got to watch this show.
It's crazy.
What? Evan?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's like a new teacher, right?
Yes. So,
This is not a principal, right?
no,
Also another lady, but she's like crazy.
it's real.
She like makes the money to buy her.
Yeah, but it's cool areas. And it's just like, as educators. Anyway, so yeah, so these are two teachers from the show, right? And Janine here on the right, she's the new teacher. So she's like, how do I know what my students learning? Right? And so she's always going to, now I'm like blank on the left, right? She's like, yeah, Miss Barbara, right? So she's like the veteran teacher, right? And so Janine loves her. She like thinks she's so great and she like knows everything and she like goes to her with all her questions, right? And so like, she's like, curriculum web, the mapping, and backward design, so all the things we've been thinking about and talking about. And so, right, we're starting to kind of map some ideas here, right? Thinking about like pulling out content from neighborhood, right? So when you think about these. Pull out these ideas. Engineering. So what social studies, big content areas, but what concepts specifically might we teach? So community, family. Science, yes, right. So life science, like what else is in our neighborhood? Things that like other living and non-living things. There's a farm, right? And where do our goods come from? Right? So social studies, science. So we can start aligning all of these ideas to concepts and standards and things that we're going to be teaching in whatever grade this we're teaching. And so one way, right? See this, right? So this is a project about life, right? And so we have more, right? We would use the neighborhoods. This would be neighborhood. This would be all the things that we're saying are in our neighborhood. And we would start to like get a little bit more detail, right? We might start to include things here like the concepts of want them for their standard. Right, but here, so this teacher started aligning standards here, right? Started thinking about all of these things, like this
students were coming up with, right? You can do this to your class. Create curriculum, you can have students individually create curriculum webs around ideas or content webs. And then you can think about standards. So it's more work, right? So again, like, we're not doing this our first 2 years. But once we know what we're teaching and that content and what it looks like and standards and what they look like when students are demonstrating those, like, we can easily do things that are a little bit more creative and fun that are integrating many content areas. Right, so what about like math? Okay, so we can talk about like bank, we can talk about money, use money, we can have a grocery store set up and then like have them money. Shapes of building. Taxes. I don't know that we're gonna be doing that. Maybe too, but. So with one theme, you can teach many topics, one project, right? So that's what I love about Project Push. It's very child centered, but it's just fun too, right? So you can think about what it is that what they're learning in whatever grade it is. And how do you then build, like my son's teacher, this was like 3rd grade, so I love that she did this. She did a project where they built like an amusement park. And it integrated like science and math and ELA in really fun, integrated ways. And she's been teaching for a while, right? So she's like, probably was not doing that her first year either, but she was able to really align all these standards. One fun activity that they did, throughout the year. It's not like they're just doing it one day or 1 week, right? They spend many weeks doing that. So that's the other thing, right? It's thinking about like where you can kind of put some of these things into your teaching, because it's not always going to be seamless, right? So you're going to have to figure out when you do it, but you're teaching all content areas. So that's the thing that's helping you do more integrative teaching. You're not like departmentalized in early childhood. So that helps do things in a more integrated. So this is, I don't know if I posted this before, but so this is just a document that you can use and save. But right, in thinking about then how you map all that, right? So all these ideas we've come up with. Right, you can kind of do that. Standard. Yeah. How. And the neighborhood is such a great topic for Chicago. We have so many neighborhoods, and your school is in a neighborhood. You can walk around and you can see things, right? You can bring, people from your neighborhood to come to your class and talk. You can visit a, bakery down the street, right? All field trips are back now. Walking field trips are where it's at, because they're cheap. You don't have to pay for a bus, right? Like, that's gonna cost money, and your school probably not gonna have a lot of it. So, walking field trips are always great. So using neighborhood. All right, so thoughts, questions?
I really like that activity.
Yeah.
Great.
I never would have looked at it in the integrated and not something else.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad that you felt like you didn't get cheated by not using these recyclable material. Because
Frustrating with the glue and.
I've already done a science project today, okay?
yeah.
I'm building an eco house.
Oh, fun. So here's like some students in the, right, they have like an art store. So there's like some things that have already been built in here, but yeah, so like, again, you can do this exact thing with your own class, right? And you can have ways for parents to be involved, ways for your community to be involved.
building your neighborhood and putting it outside in the hallway, outside your classroom, and having the school community come and look at, right? So there's like so many ways to use not just the neighborhood, but just this idea of project approach, right? In a way that invites other people in, is much more integrated, immersive, and child-centered. You know, and it's, you know, usually, right, you want to base it on their questions, on children's questions, but you don't really get that luxury when we're teaching data too, because like, gotta teach them this stuff. So we gotta guide their questions a little
So
bit,
do you
right?
think pre-K would be like more leeway when it comes to the standards and all that? I mean, I know we still have to check the boxes and all, but
Yeah, I think preschool is a much more flexible grade to teach because you do, right, you're using the Illinois Early Learning Standards, but the pressure of preparing kids for testing isn't there, right? And so, yeah, there's a lot more flexibility to do things like projects. And that's generally where you see them most in preschool classrooms. So yeah. But I think it's like, I want to encourage us to do this in K to 2 classrooms, right? Even if it's small, it's tiny. It's just like a mural you make. I don't know, right? It can be something simple. It doesn't need to be like building an entire neighborhood out of like toilet paper tubes and boxes, right? It can be
I
whatever.
see this happening. Every kid coming up and drawing something that is.
Right, so you could do this in a way where it's like, you have a piece of paper and it's like you create a mural and it's up in your classroom and it becomes something that like they see all the time, parents can come and see at parent-teacher conference time, or, you know, your principal can come in and see it. Yeah, well, cut the dates and-
You know, and if you just like tape it.
Yeah, you can just like get some paint, like whatever, right? Like you can do it in whatever medium you want it to be in. And it can be with anything, like under the sea. All right, like I'm just thinking like all these themes that we all know, right, and have heard for, you know. Yeah, right, like, or like
Like what?
seasonality, right? Like whatever the topics are, like weather, right? All the topics that we talk about all the time.
You can
where-
integrate that into weather too.
Right,
You can just add the sunshine or rain or sewers.
sewers, runoff,
Yeah.
it's environmental issues, right? Like there's so many things that you can add and talk about.
Can I have you on speed dial once I get my own classroom?
Yes, absolutely. You all have my number. Save it and text me anytime. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, once you get settled, you will know. You will see. Now that you know that this is a thing, you will,
I kind of feel like I knew that was a thing, but like doing it
right,
rather than reading about it, you know?
right,
Like,
make sure. Yeah. So, yeah, so knowing about it and then seeing it and doing it in
Yeah.
a more kind of like, we're drawing, or whatever, trying to build out a map, but it's really small. Then you know how you can do it, right? Once you have your own classroom, after you've gone through a year or two, you're like, okay, now I see how these topics that I'm teaching in first grade can be taught in this way.
this could be like a year deep.
Yeah.
Like a, well, not a unit, then, a year.
Right. Yeah, so you can find ways to like bring what you're teaching back to the city's ideas, right? So it's like a constant for them
Yeah.
too, so
Like,
then they
oh,
know.
remember, we did our neighborhood at the
Right.
beginning of the year, we talked about this, well, now we're gonna do this
Right.
thing, or whatever.
Right. Right, or we could be like, oh, okay, like it's fall now in our neighborhood. You see that like the earth is tilted and the sun looks this way, right? So we know that's a standard that we're teaching in like second grade or whatever, right? So it's like, we can go back to our neighborhood.
I think
talk
it's actually first.
Okay, first grade,
Yeah.
so like, right, so we can see.
I've been reading up on my.
But yeah, so then you can go back to it and do that, and go outside and you can see. So right, again, using nature, so just like our nature centered visit, right? Thinking about use nature.
Other questions, thoughts? That take a picture of your. Yeah, that'd be really good. And this is like a meeting I think we had.
Yep, so it's like a Google Doc that's linked in there. So yeah, so I think, right, when what I always, yeah, but I also do that every year, right? Like, just like copy all these slides, whichever one's gonna be most helpful, and put them in, create your own folder somewhere, right? A Google folder somewhere. Like, for later, right? And just dump it all in there. 'Cause, like, you're not trying to like. So,
Done that in your past classes, and I should have.
so like,
Right, we can have.
yeah, I think you could, or yeah, I could just like open it.
We talked about something. Yes, we did, and I never put in anything myself, like, it was from like that. Yeah, we were all.
Oh, yeah, I shared the link.
I did.
I did my job. Yeah, I think I shared it on like the last, it was like the last week of class, and I think in the announcement, I like, I put. Like, but you can also create like folder too, right? And like you all can add to it. But I think, yeah, so like my slides, that's why I do everything on the drive, because it's just like easier for you to just like save it or download it or whatever, like link all these things in Google Docs, because then you can just have them. For later, like you don't need to, look at them now. But I think it's like good to go, when you see something, just like a bookmark, right? When you go on a website and you think it's great and you're like putting your bookmarks, it just like sits there.
Well, like your lesson, the lesson plan that we did last semester.
Yeah.
And, with all the, information that was in red, like how we should do
Mhm.
it. I don't think we're not need that.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent it to you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I saved.
Yeah, I mean, just like obviously just email me, or you have my phone. I mean, you can always just text me from here,
Yeah.
if you need something.
You're gonna have like.
Sunday, 1 a.m.
I can't promise I will respond to your 1 a.m. text as promptly as I might to your emails, but yeah. I know. It's like, so I'm like, usually I'm really good with emails and I get back to you guys like right away. And a student in my other class who I've had in other classes before, she's like, I don't know what happened. I had a brain fart and I didn't email her for 2 days or something. And she wrote me and she was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, what is wrong? You haven't emailed me back. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I just forgot you email, it was just one of those weeks, but it was hilarious. I was like, oh my God, maybe I'm too prompt. Now my students are worried about if I don't respond to them in time, which is sweet, but all right. So any other thoughts or questions about integrated curriculum, project approach?
Do you have a decent source to kind of for books?
For children's lit?
So
Guess what? You will know all about this next semester because we're going to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, I can post some links.
Going over just Google and things like that, it's all over the place. Trying to sometimes.
So Scholastics has a great,
yeah.
they're great. We have actually, and you can look at it now, it's called Teaching Books. And we have an account here at Northeastern. Usually it's you have to, I think, pay for it. And so that's a good one. And so in 325, we create accounts or whatever and look at it and use that. So, but it's called, I think it's teachingbooks.com or something.
Sometimes I try to look in Skyline and locating a specific book by title is difficult. Sometimes I actually use AI.
I would also say that's a good use of AI too. So, and don't just use ChatGPT. There's lots of other ones like Claude and I like Claude. I like ChatGPT, but yeah, Claude is good. And if you use Gemini through Google with your NEIU account, it doesn't track any of it. It's not collecting data from you, which is kind of, so if you're worried about things like that. But yeah, that's a great use of AI to be I'm looking for children's books about these topics. Right. Or children's books that
Oh, I'll
help
just
me.
have to, if it's in Skyline, and sometimes they'll tell me something.
Oh, it might, because some Skyline is like public and
Yeah.
some isn't, which is also so weird to me. I don't understand. But anyways, yeah, so yeah, that's a good use of AI, is to find books. But yeah, no, next semester in 325, we'll talk about places to find books and how to evaluate books. So that we're finding good books, because there's like a lot of crappy books. Social justice books, I think, is another one that's good. So like, yeah, finding anti-bias ed books. Yeah. So. All right, other questions, thoughts? Yeah, what's up?
I don't, yeah, exactly.
What's good? Do you want to look at it? Do you want to take a few minutes and look at it? And then if you have questions?
No.
Like, my brain is at capacity. No, thank you. Okay, well, you guys look at it for a few minutes. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. If you have questions, then we can talk about them. Well, you guys all have to stay, right? Okay, let me run to the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it's one.
Okay.
No, they give her. But every time.
Oh, for 327.
Yeah.
You do have.
You have to wait, probably. It's like eight.
So my house, which is probably on our. Right. And so everyone is until F has their appointment. And depending on where their meeting placement is at, is. So,
Yeah.
we have to wait to, and then Mindy said that we have to, depending on where we're at and what teacher has that area is what kind of. It was funny because they didn't say. Remember that placement?
325.
I got placement. Where you at? I'm at, Joseph Love.
510.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm there. And I don't know, and you know what?
I think I'm in. Yes. I didn't take it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know.
Like,
It seems like really, Anyways, I tried to get. Yeah, I stay really quiet and I observe and brother and I want to get in there, but I respect. But still, yeah, that's,
I
yeah.
did look them up on research.
Just like my.
what did it say? Actually,
When I got
the winning one, I found the other one.
the other one didn't have it.
And I'm like,
I can find it.
I could have found, you know.
I think.
No, there's a specific way of how this goes.
Yeah, I can take her.
And
I
something
saw
like.
like a Wendy.
And I was like, oh, what about, I'm like, you need to be with force.
That one you heard. I heard it.
Like, wow.
That's a big, but behind the next day.
So you're doing the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. Say Wednesday. Thursday, Wednesday, the long. That's what we put a longer day. The both classes. I thought they had the clinical with Wednesday.
Same day as the long time.
Okay, so that's the clinical is first. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really about, that's all that, yeah, so. No. And she told me that. Like, her, the third question, it's the first.
And I remember in February 11th, can be in the same class. I mean, that's good stuff.
Or,
I think that's so great.
so there's a social studies and then there's an integrated.
So if you use the same topic, just modify.
Yeah, so if you use like your, whatever your social studies is, and then you add math and or like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Because I'm just using the same topic that I use for my life there now, but I'm not doing anything.
Okay, yeah, that's fine too. Yeah.
Yes.
So the.
Fever. SZ.
Oh, I did find it, with the, for.
Some is hyphen, some isn't. They will.
I think I got it.
I know, there's like so many
I'm
different
moving
versions of
that
agreement.
open source folder, you know, and yet.
Oh, you're so sweet.
But let's do it after the semester.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to get there right now.
Yeah, send it out.
Yeah,
And Marie on there.
So for the
rotate.
I think
Yes,
that's
3
it.
people.
So you guys,
Yes.
like, if there's something.
3 subjects.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And each subject in a different medium. Like one technology,
No.
okay.
So it should be integrated, right? Is that how let me look at the thing, just so I'm not like making stuff up.
These 3 stations.
Yeah.
Teach a math, science, or STEM lesson of your choice.
For STEM lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be all 3. Yes, okay, thank you for reading.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't need, so this is, it can be an integrated lesson, or can't, like an activity, but it doesn't need to be, so it could be.
Okay.
math, all science.
Exactly. And then you will have 3 stations essentially, right? And they will be, there's a tech, right? So for station rotation, there's always the teacher-led station, right? So remember way back in the beginning of when we did the math,
Yeah.
like station, so then I was doing like the teacher-led station, right? So that's where you're gonna do your like assessments, right? Of students, either like formative or summative maybe, so think about that there. Think about your groupings and how you're gonna group your students. But yeah, so you'll have a teacher-led station, you'll have a collaborative station, and then you'll have a tech station.
So when I close my eyes, I'm in a classroom. I'm
Yes.
there probably by myself,
Mhm.
and I split up my class into those
Yes.
stations.
Exactly.
Okay. And we're all running it at the same time.
Correct, right, so then you're gonna have, right, like you'll have. Yeah, you'll probably have like a timer that you might use, right, and you'll have some way that students will know, and you don't necessarily need all this stuff to show during your presentations, but think about it when you're doing your write-ups, right? Like, how will you split up the groups and how will they know where they're going? And there's a station rotation or blended, so they're also called blended learning models. From week 2, 3.
Because that's when we did the math, right?
Yeah, so we did the math one, but there's a video in one of those in week, I want to say it's like week 2 or 3. It's like in the first few weeks of the semester about blended learning models. And there was a lot of good, like, just example, like teacher in the real world classrooms. So you could watch those too, just to like get inspiration. But yeah, but you need those 3 stations.
But the 3 stations, again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to repeat this again, someone else did, but. So one station can be math and one station can be science.
So it should all be
lesson
one.
should all be
One.
lesson,
So it can be all math, it can be all science, it can be integrated if you want to, but each one shouldn't be its own. Right, so you're teaching some concepts, right? So
And not ELA.
no, so only math. You can integrate ELA if you want to. But obviously for this class, we're talking about math and science mostly, and then social studies, but, right, so like when we did the station rotations for the math, it was like a number sense, was like the concept, right? We were thinking about like, maybe some students were gonna be doing subitizing because they didn't get that yet, or we're doing counting, or we're thinking about, like how we like create, how many ways can we make the number 6 or whatever. Yeah, so it can be like, we had like, I think I had like some PBS like games or something. So yeah, so it can be whatever tech thing you want.
I'm thinking of.
So how students have done it in the past is like each, yes, exactly. Each of you would do like your own, each of you would do one of the stations. You would have to kind of collectively come up with like the concepts, the standards, like what you're teaching about, so that it's all aligned, right? But then you split up the work in that way. So. Yeah. Any other questions? You can integrate art, but it should be more like science, math, focused. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm like trying to think of some stuff like art is. Someone did like a birds or something. Theme was like birds, and then they made um, like pine cone like bird feeders, and as their like collaborative station or something, right? It talked about like it was like birds in winter. Something. So but yeah, again, just like think about your grade level that you want to do, think about the standards you want to use, your objectives, and then build each of your stations around that. Again, backward design. Because you all have great activities that you want to do, but then you like go back and you're like, there's not even a standard for this grade that I want to teach. So I can't use this activity, right? So don't get all hyped up on an activity that you can't do.
So how do you get past that? Is it because we're not as familiar with the standards? Is that why it's happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is 100, I mean, like, this is how this, I see this every class I teach, right? Like, that because so many of us have taught younger children as a more like common, right? Like, I would say majority of students in our program have taught in like childcare or in pre-K, and it's much more flexible. So you're just like, I want to do this fun. It's snowing outside. We're going to do this super fun activity about snow, and we're going to bring it inside, and we're going to like watch it melt, or we're going to food color dye it, whatever, right? Like we're going to do whatever. So we're not thinking about standards, but now here it's like, we need to be thinking about standards, right? We want to teach it in CPS or some public school district, like, or anywhere in Illinois and K-2, like you need to teach those
Is
standards.
it any different in private schools?
No, because they're going to teach those standards too. They're still required by law, I would think, right? To like, oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know a lot about like the like private or like a parochial school, like a Catholic school or something. I have no idea.
Like that was somebody's job. School.
Oh, like a developer. Yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
Mhm.
And then all of the lessons went to her,
Right.
but they didn't really. I don't know if they aligned with the standards. I know I was not thinking about when I submitted and she loved.
I mean, yeah, I would imagine that like you would in Illinois, you would have to have your like curriculum aligned with the state standards. Maybe the way you're like assessing it and doing all that like looks different. But yeah, I mean, but most of us, right? Like most students want to teach in CPS or some public district in the suburbs or wherever, right? Like, and all those schools are going to be are going to be aligning with Illinois state standards. So, yeah. So yeah, so yes, to your question, I think it's that, right? I think it's that we're used to teaching in much more flexible ways because we teach younger kids before we get into this program. And then we're in this program and now we're like, right, we're like in a kindergarten classroom and they're learning like very standardized stuff, right? And they're doing this curriculum. And so we have to be thinking about that first and foremost. You know, we can't be like using the life cycle for everything, which we love. We all love the life cycle. Everyone, everyone at Northeastern, all of my students always want to talk about the life cycle. But I'm like, life cycle is like legit not something that students learn about in a standards-based way until like 5th grade or something. Yeah.
We just had it in third.
Standards about metamorphosis. So maybe using life cycle as a topic, but like the standard of like metamorphosis and that is not until later. I don't think it's 3rd grade. Maybe it is 3rd grade. Maybe that's when you know. But yeah,
I
it's
saw it
not.
in third grade.
So
Full birth, growth, reproduction, and then
mhm.
so no.
Oh, okay. I wonder what that, I'll have to look at it. But yeah, so, right, so these like ideas and
That's a
activities.
universal,
Uh,
another one.
curriculum, who knows what I don't know, I'm curious to see what curriculum looks like when you guys start teaching. Because a lot of schools are starting to like, I think, move away from Skyline.
School just got it 2 years.
Well, it is new, but I think
Yeah.
a lot, but it was like
But
optional,
it was free.
right? But I think a lot of schools are starting to see that it's like, it's good in some ways, but it's not preparing students.
The budget.
No,
Money to find it.
yeah. Any other questions? Stephanie just texted me. It's your Stephanie that you know. No, Stephanie. Shanna Brack. About,
Yeah, they're-
I know, she's texting me from that class.
I told you we're gonna be texting you at midnight.
Oh, is it, Rachel, Dr. Rachel?
Yeah. Must be something fun, which is like,
Yeah, I can.
like we did last year.
Yeah, she's probably texting me the same issues you've all complained about. Yeah. Yeah.
Hunter.
No. Well, I talk to Stephanie all the time because Stephanie and I are friends. Like our kids go to the same school. We live a block from each other. We hang out with all the same moms. So, and then she tells me all the things too.
How do you learn something or get better at something? Feedback.
I mean, this is what I told you before, right? And what I told her the last time I talked to her about it.
To be honest, I had a draft. Right.
Because I told you to do it last semester.
Figured it's my last class.
No, but you need to save the next people. Think about your.
Professor that I'm gonna have next semester, and everyone's gonna be talking about how Evelina wrote this letter.
No, because everyone should sign it. It shouldn't just be a letter from you. It should be a letter from the program, from the students. That's what it needs to be. It needs power in numbers. We know this just based on democracy, right? Like social studies concepts, right? Like we know that a voice of one person can be powerful, but the voice of many is much stronger. So
Let me ask you, what would happen? if That letter was generated. By many people. You know, because you don't want to be the fault of someone's negotiation. You know,
no one is going to lose their job. So that you do not have to worry about that.
Scenario, like you're like, oh my God.
No one's losing their job.
And their tenure and their everything.
You know, it's nearly impossible to get rid of tenured faculty. It is nearly impossible.
And is it also impossible?
Which is why, right? So it's like this. Like, does anybody watch Gilmore Girls, or have watched Gilmore Girls? Okay, so there's Paris, right? One of the characters on there. So she is writing for the Yale Daily News, and she has this think piece about like both sides, like why tenure is good and why tenure is bad, right? And every time I see that, because that's like my going to sleep show, so I often watch it several times, the same episode. And I'm always like, oh man, yes, everything she's saying, right? Because it's like just like anything, right? There's pros and cons to like you will encounter tenured faculty. You probably may have already done this in your clinicals or next clinical, where you're with someone who's been teaching for a gazillion years and they are burnt out and they're tired and they're done, and you're like, why are you here? Right? Because there's not a lot of accountability, right? Once you get kind of down the line. So you have to be so you think about this too. Like I think about this for myself, right? Like I'd like to think that
when I know my time and what I can do for you is not as good as it was when I first started, I need to be done teaching. Right? And like you need to be thinking about that too for with your students. Cause like you're not gonna benefit them if you're just like up there going through the motions and doing the same thing you did 20 years ago. Right?
Right.
So it's like I just look at it too as like instead of like complaining about some things that I can't control, right? I think about like, well, I'm gonna make sure that I don't do those things. Because it's a disservice to our students. Right? If I'm not up here being like bringing snacks and doing all this stuff and like making us draw freaking this, like then I shouldn't be doing this anymore. Then my job here is done, right? Because it's not fun. Like I don't want to stand up here and just like talk at you. It's so
Well, then
boring
also,
for me too.
don't you want
Like
to be a professor where people are like, oh, I'm going to take this class with this professor. How exciting, rather than, oh, I have to
yes,
take another class.
right. And I think it's like right, like I want right, yes, like, and I want that. And so I'm like, I will maintain that as long as I can. And when I feel like I can't do that anymore, I need to be self-reflective and be like, maybe it's time to retire, or maybe I just teach a class, right? Like, or I don't know, teach yoga or whatever it is, right? Like, or take some PD and try to fix. So that, right? So I think when you if you write a letter, that is something that might change, right? Like that this letter will inform whoever it's about in some way from we don't really have bosses here, but like someone higher up to say like, you need to change the way you're doing this. You need to submit grades. That's insane to me, you guys, that you do not get grades. That's insane. If I go longer than a week, I feel bad. So it's like, like, I know, Steph tells me this.
The day grades come out, and that's when you come in and everything, like, if you fail, you fail.
That is just not okay. Like, I mean, it's one thing to just like not be an engaging professor, whatever. We've all had terrible professors, right? Or so boring and it kills you to be there. But like to not get your grades, this is my job. My job is to give you grades. And feedback, right? Right. So that you know, like this is how you learn. Right? Like I'm not trying to like I don't want you to fail. That's why I'm like resubmit this, redo this. Like this is not right. You get the chance to change it.
Go together, so
Right.
you don't know if you did good on the first one.
Yes.
Oh, am I
That to me warrants the letter, you guys. You need to sit like that is not okay. Like
Writing a letter to the parents. At least. I don't think,
right, I think yes, of course. It cannot just be like a complaint about someone just being a terrible person, right? It has to have like very concrete issues, right? So that it's addressed and things that like, right? So here are the problems and here are the solutions, right? That's always the best way to go at anything, right, in our lives. We can identify problems and complain about problems all day, but if we cannot figure out, if we are not going to be part of the solution or help find a solution, then we're just complaining. And that is a waste of time for everybody, right? So you complain you complain, and then you say, this is what needs to be done because this is not right.
your standards, put on college standards, like, you guys write a bunch of stuff.
There's a bunch of like standards that our classes align with, like NACE standards. And so there's professional learning standards for NACE. Then we have like college, like level, like things.
I'm just saying.
There's like an Illinois, like
something that.
professional educator one.
We're not, those standards that we're supposed to be. Are not aligned.
They're not aligned,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they can align if we could be meeting them, just don't know what time we are, because we don't have any feedback.
Well, right, yeah, right, but I think, right, what you guys are saying is like,
that there's a standard that we need to be living up to as like, right, us in teaching these classes. Right. Yeah.
You know, you get a 40-page syllabus at the beginning of the year.
Mhm.
Oh my God, that one freaked me out. So paralyzed before that happened.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah, like this, the syllabus, the first, not, actually it was 301.
Oh.
That was very.
I think it was
Like, how am I gonna do all this?
Because it was broken down.
I meant the syllabus, I was like, how am I supposed to do all this?
But you did it.
I
We
actually
did it.
stopped looking at the syllabus before class because it would hype me up.
It stresses you out. Right. Yeah, because there's, I try to be so like detailed in my syllabi because I just feel like, right, like you read it and you're like, what is this thing that this professor put here? And when there's like no context, you're kind of like, so I try to be more detailed, but like, and then have the assignment guidelines because I just think it's like, there's some expectation in the syllabus of what it is that you're supposed to do. Yeah. Yeah, no, I swear by assignment guidelines. I mean, that helps me too. It helps me think about like, okay, they need to do this because this is the objective for the class and like, what is it that they need to be doing to make sure that like that objective is being met?
For the journal, I really like it.
Oh, good, yeah.
Especially since it's not a traditional form of an assignment.
Mm-hmm,
It's not a paper we turn in.
right.
I always have yours open and then mine.
Mhm, yeah.
Just learn to do that.
Get you.
Number 6, here we go.
Final one, the final one. Yeah, so next week you have final, the last, and I know it's like, it's because it's Thanksgiving, so like, don't feel stressed about getting it done. Like, it's fine, it'll be loose. It's due date for last journal is loose. Whenever.
Every time.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh.
so that's all that's due next week, right?
24 hours. Yeah.
That,
But I think it's due the 3rd. So that's something.
that's due Friday. That's this week, right? Yeah, no, but I'm saying like next week because it's Thanksgiving. So I know it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's like the journals are usually due Wednesday. Like,
Oh, the 26th. The 26th.
yeah, so,
There's some people who are doing Thanksgiving.
yeah, don't worry about it. I'll change it. I'll change the thing. So you can just,
Like a 24-hour.
there is, but it's gonna be Thanksgiving. You don't want to do it on Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna say.
Well, because technically the university is still open on Wednesday. So
Right.
technically we were supposed to have class, but I never have this class. I'm like, are you insane? Like nobody wants to come here the day before Thanksgiving.
A lot of people are traveling.
And people travel and like, yeah, and like CPS is out the whole week now. Yeah,
Even
so
if they were out on Wednesday.
right, yes. So yeah, I'm always like, not gonna- yeah. That's just like,
But you know what? I bet you, I'm so glad we're not in Wishes Bash, because you'd be like, what are you talking about? Let's go on, you gotta go to school.
3 people.
so yeah, well, let's change the, all right, well, you all need to write your letter. Gonna continue to tell you that,
Well, you know what?
I'm gonna look for my.
We're. Now in the front. You know. She's like, and
I know, I just saw her the other day, like, I was walking my dog, and she was walking in the park, and I was like, all stuff. The letter, hey, let me change this. I'm gonna keep the folder open for.
I visited that last thing and the one that's that thing.
Or maybe that's why we should like. Let me know when it be going. Yeah. Sure, it's like, yes. Yeah. And it's expensive. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I that journal open until,
That's a big thing. You want to-
so I'm keeping the due date as like next Wednesday, but the folder is technically open until it's like the third, the following one.
Okay.
So,
Cause I'm like, oh.
yeah, don't worry about,
24 hours.
yeah, but that's then it's Thanksgiving, so.
Yeah.
I feel like eating turkey, working on the journal. What do you guys, what's everyone do? For Thanksgiving? You host,
Yeah, I host.
so you like make the turkey, you do people bring stuff? Okay.
People bring stuff, I make stuff like that. I was like, I'm supposed to be people, I'm supposed to just make the turkey, plates, cups,
Right.
you know, whatever. And I make the turkey and then the coconut and
Mhm.
then the sweet potatoes and macaroni.
Ooh, yum. I
I
know.
I think are around. The more the merrier.
Yeah,
But yeah, then the family comes in.
nice.
And we eat it, yeah. You kind of have like a game that we play,
Oh.
like just something,
Yeah.
like a board game or something that's out, you know, something that's fun. And then, you know, the little tablecloth that the kids draw on, all the kind of the little crayons out.
Nice. True educator, keeping people entertained.
Are you guys, anyone else? What's?
I'm compost and then we would all just bring stuff.
Mhm.
It's fun, so. Yeah, we're new place. It's like Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Or it's like it just, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Those things is. I don't want to do it, and so that means if my cousin,
Yeah,
this lady, and then.
okay,
It's not. So that was first,
yeah.
but. No, I feel that's a lot of work.
You could do like a mini, you know, you don't have to do like all the crazy, you could just like,
I don't want to do the whole turkey though, like, I only like the turkey breast.
yeah, then you could just buy like the turkey breasts.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and just like make that,
I do them like during the year when I feel like having a.
Yeah.
Giving dinner.
yeah.
I might do that, an abbreviated thing.
Yeah, we can like get creative. I'm making, so Friday, this Friday, we have book club, with a bunch of my like, parent, parent friends. And, so we're having book club at our friend's house and he really wants to do, a like Thanksgiving themed, like food for, cause we all bring dishes, like, you know, to whoever's hosting the book club. And so our friend Aaron, he's like, I want to do Thanksgiving. So I found these like little, like stuffing mashed potato, like cups. And then you like dip it in gravy. Like, yeah, so I'm gonna make those. So you could do something like that, right? It's like 2 in 1, you know? So it's not like, yeah, but like, it's the traditional fixins, right? But it's not like the whole thing. But yeah, we just like, I just say, it's just me, for our Thanksgiving, since COVID, we've just been like, we're just gonna stay home. And we're just gonna do like, me and my husband and my son, maybe my dad sometimes comes over. And
Chardonnay grandma.
no Chardonnay Grammy. And yeah, we just like make our own like thing. We do a gingerbread cookie hunt with my son. He like loves it. Now he's 10. He's like, we make gingerbread cookies. This is like my husband's mom. This is what she would do every Thanksgiving, and then the kids she would make all these gingerbread cookies, and the gingerbread was in the oven, right? And you get right to like the book, right? He gets out, there's like notes everywhere, and you have to like, it's like a scavenger hunt. Yeah.
So cute.
So, yeah. So you could, yeah, that's really fun for the kids too. You could make like a big gingerbread cookie, with a bunch of little Yeah, and then my son like decorates it. I make the, I don't, no, I don't eat, well, my husband doesn't even eat turkey. He hates it. His mom used to make him Cornish hen. Like, what kind of food shit is that? Cornish hen. I know, like, but now he just makes like chicken, like he'll make like chicken breasts because he doesn't eat, like, he won't eat turkey anyways, and I don't eat it, so, I just eat all the sides. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he was a vegetarian for a long time, my son, because like I was the one who was feeding him most of the time, right? And then now he's a little bit older and he's like, you know, he's out with his buddies and he wants to like eat chicken nuggets and like, which is fine. Honestly, it's like easier to feed him now. I'm just like, cool, you can have chicken tenders or like
A burger, does he have burgers?
he did. He actually had his first cheeseburger in Orlando at the Toad's Cafe where we went for his birthday lunch. He loved it. He thought it was great. He even had bacon on it, and I was like, "Oh my god, my kid!" Yeah, yeah, it was funny, but yeah, he liked it. But sometimes it's like, I just want to eat vegetarian today, which is nice. Like I like that he's like likes all different things. You know, I think that's really what I was going for. Although
Are
I,
you vegetarian for like, the animal impact?
I was for a long time. Yeah, that was like why I started. And then obviously it's healthier. Now I eat like I'll eat fish sometimes just because like I'm getting older and I need like more omega 3s. So like all my omegas. So but yeah, no, I just like yeah, we just have terrible like factory farming here in the US. It's really bad. And it's terrible for the environment. But my husband is a huge meat eater. So yeah, so it's just like, yeah, we like
Twice and then that.
yeah, yeah, the balance of the universe in our house is like we're here.
How about, so a lot of pasta or just lots of vegetables?
I eat like, yeah, I eat a lot of like beans and rice because that's a complete protein and when you put them together. I eat a lot of tofu. Yeah, just a lot of like chickpeas and lentils. Yeah. Yeah.
My son's, like he's going that route. He's
Mhm.
17 and he's like,
Yeah.
out and he's. Should fish a little bit more, so I could buy fish. And my husband loves fried fish. I like baked, and then my son's like, no, we can have those.
Yeah, I mean, like fish is good. Yeah, I mean, but fish is a lot like, problematic too in terms of like the just like mercury in it and all that. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, but to like yeah, I mean, tofu is tempeh. Like using tempeh is like good. Like it's just like a fermented like soybean, I think. And oh, are you? Then yeah, you can't. Yeah. But anything like fermented is really good for you too. It's like kimchi. I love kimchi. Oh my God. I just like, I always have it in my refrigerator. And just like, no, I just buy it. But I just like eat it with whatever, everything with eggs. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not vegan. I'm not crazy. No, just kidding. One of my best friends, she's vegan. But she makes good stuff.
30s. No, not even, no fish anymore, no shrimp, no, nothing. And he does, 3-day fast. Like he's like, fine. Doesn't eat it. Food and
The fasting, the longest fast I will do is like stop eating at 7 and then like eat at like 10 the next morning or something. Which that's good for you. That's what you should do. Yeah. I mean, you should fast like, but you don't need to do like a full fast. I would be like dying. Like I couldn't even like function.
I mean,
can't do it.
You'll get over it. Just drink lots of water. You'll be fine. Don't worry. So
Water, food. Water's not gonna help me out.
Yeah, he's drowning us with all his information, and we like trying to. Too much change and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? But he won't eat any meat. No, Yeah. Yeah. Sugars.
Sugar, like added, like I've been, but like I've been really looking at like my added sugar
Yeah.
intake because that's like really where it's bad, right? Like everything has added sugar in it.
Bread. Yeah.
Yeah, just like eat more fermented stuff, eat less added sugar, eat less meat. People eat meat, just like, I know this is like health class now, health and nutrition. Yeah, just like balance it.
My son, younger son.
That's good. That he's like thinking about that stuff, it's like, yeah. Yeah.
So.
Who is that?
That's a glass.
Oh, that's like, I thought,
Like, right?
we're just like hanging out, yeah.
There it is.
No, it's probably next class.
Making me feel so good, like,
I was so sad.
oh,
Lindsay.
yeah, we were just chatting, about things, yeah, we're done. You got any snack?
Forgot to take snacks. I always started.
Is that your snack? You brought macaroons for your snack? Yeah. I'm talking about health.
No, well,
Denise got her bag of macaroons.
no, my 18-year-old just got braces, those are his favorite, and please take them. Yeah, and he's finally brushing his teeth, let me tell you, boys are. No, I'm brushes them, but this is. No, like, it's like,
Oh, no.
yeah, so now, I think.
Oh, he's got a brush, yeah. You have one of those like water flosser things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not used to it yet,
I've been like looking into them, and so now every like ad I get on like social media.
Just remember, it's not the same as floss.
Right, so that's what I've been reading, it's like you still need to floss, I'm like, what the hell's the point of this then? I'm like,
If you don't floss, like with your hand, if you don't floss, then yes, you do the water. But
Right.
if you are in the habit of flossing.
yeah, I floss it,
which
I floss every day. I was like a psycho about the teeth brushing with my son, because I was like, I had terrible teeth, like my mom didn't care at all about my teeth, and so I was like,
Must have been a generation.
yeah, right. And so I was like, oh, because I'm like, I had all these cavities, like all this, and I was like, I am no for not shutting it down. And so I had like that little app that he used, and he would like brush his teeth with the, yeah, like, and it was like some, like you could like virtual reality, like it knows when you should switch. And so, but even now he's like getting a little bit lazy. Like, he'll be like sitting there with a toothbrush in his mouth, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you need to move the toothbrush. You can't just put it on one tooth and like go around. Like,
It's fingering it on one
yeah,
side.
I'm like, that one tooth is real clean. Not gonna help the other one.
Yeah. And I have,
Yeah,
so, I think my 7th year is really great, because I guess whatever I said to him,
yeah,
really kind of like, stuck,
yeah,
but not for my 18-year-old.
yeah.
Maxim was like, what is this? Like, you're not my child, like,
Yeah.
I was like constantly,
Right.
And now when he decided, okay, I'm gonna put the braces on, I was like, you're like,
Yeah,
and, but now I think he's brushed his teeth enough, lots of lifetime. I mean, he's like constantly brushing.
yeah. So fun.
And he saw grandma's dentures. And
Oh, and he was like, oh my God, no.
I stood over the dentures.
Oh my God, that's
And that really was like, what?
I remember seeing my grandparents' dentures for the first time, and I was like, this is like a horror film. Like, what am I looking at right here? I was like, this is wild. The dentist?
Yes, because of my mom.
It's not like a little cup that I'm always on that thing.
No, but there's, that's on top, you know. I have to like. Let's today take care of your feet. It's not.
It's all like, like. Weird.
I take care of some cheese, I go to sleep.
Yeah, well, like those like little barrel. Little juices.
Yeah.
My God, like, here's your sugar container. It's like, you're hard to eat. So bad for you. Like my kid, like, started drinking it like last year.
Yeah.
Which I like. They probably did. No, I didn't.
Oh. Only how once.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, then again, it's right. Oh, yeah.
Bear with me. Okay. Right, yeah. Yeah. Right, right.
And she didn't bother me every time. I gotta be.
I did so like, right, the rule of thumb is like, you read the book first.
Yeah.
No. So like.
I never fought with
Right,
them.
like, say, or like, could you say like, I'm free today, just say, right, so we're getting them familiar with. Like,
when you're.
so it's just like. So. People are all like, author, whatever. So the first time you jump, right? And then the second time I would say, remember. I remember the story yesterday. What is?
I don't have any.
I know, right? So they need to know. And then.
You guys are probably hitting.
You buy.
I might be like, if I don't, I mean, it is.
So I try to.
I really might. Yeah, that'd be fine, right? Yeah. The thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I work full time. I work for him.
Right.
I got this same line first day of work. My boss calls me at 11 o'clock.
Right. Yes. So the second time, I'm gonna give you what I need now. And that's how we felt, right? And I'm just like, we get one, like, I'm gonna think about this idea that there's some, like, something else. So.
You know, right?
And then, you know, maybe.
Yeah, that was nice.
Right, like, they don't need to, like, for everyone. That's what you're getting them.
Right now, the.
Some series of things.
That one. Oh, that's what.
Oh, yeah, that's what they were talking about. The midget, okay, but she did get an email out earlier today, right?
Okay, they looking for the profiles, they mix for recording, right? And what another one?
Right.
I'm also putting on our regular.
So, yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the. This
Oh,
one,
the
the
mirror
mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a good point. Or like, we do that, exactly.
Are you gonna have a?
It's not like.
It's like, we're spending good time. They did it at the only time.
I just feel like you could like add me on the spot, or they put down.